Welcome, Chibis. How are you guys feeling today in Wellness Wednesday Reset? We are in the middle of the week. I hope you guys have had a wonderful, wonderful day today. My name is Z, your high-vibrational, spicy brain, overall wellness and comfort creating coach here on the Vibe and all platforms. I hope you guys are ready for tonight's activities, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, we are in the vibes of self-love week with me, Z. And if you guys are channeling in, I'm glad that you guys are here and you are here with me on Wednesday. If you guys have started with me from the beginning of the week, we've been talking about self-love and self-concept and making sure that we're giving back to self and pouring into our cups, okay? And of course, we're still tuned into the healing frequency of self-love. And tonight we're going to do a little bit of encouragement pouring into our cups, okay? And we're going to make sure that we're beaming up and talking about that self-love, self-concept, pouring back into our cups and everything. Grounding and calming the body, breathing and being in flowy mindful movement, of course, and doing it through the stretching, okay? And we'll be talking about writing a little bit of affirmations and journaling and how that can help give a spark into your healing and your giving yourself those little affirmations and that pouring back into your cups and everything. So make sure that you guys are around for that. You know, it's nice little tips that you guys can use, and we'll be getting into that, okay? Of course, the focus is self-belief, self-love, self-concept, empowerment and affirming, calling to action, and grounding manifestations. We're revisiting our inner child and inner teen through healing and with healing, okay? And we're going to be doing it through deep stretching movement, of course, how we've been doing it. And we're going to help to regulate the body so that we can better receive, the love affirmations, the transmutations, energies, the shifts, the mindsets, and everything that comes in between. We are stretching, we're breathing and powering through slow and low. And we're going to be pushing off and away any unwanted, self-doubt or energies that no longer align with us. We're going to be pouring back into our cups throughout the week. So this is just day 3 out of it. We've been doing it for the last few weeks, but this is the specifics of this week. We are making sure that we're tuning in and giving more TLC to self. We have already visited the areas of stress releasing and, of course, confidence building, strengthening, toning, recharging, affirming. And we're just giving and coming back and using those same skills and putting in a different intention, which is self-love, giving back, right? And this session is all about balance, mind, body, and energy, okay? Release what doesn't serve you and words and thoughts and feelings, that no longer resonate with you, okay? So breathe lighter, sleep deeper later tonight, and make sure that you're carrying on those nicer feelings with ease so that you can sleep with rest, right? You're going to sleep lighter tonight, right? Remember, we will be using the sound bowl of frequency 528 hertz, okay? Because that's also known as the love frequency. We're going to be giving and tuning into that frequency right now, after this whole update and stuff that we do. But we're going to be tuning into that 528 as we've been doing for the beginning of the week. Since we're doing a nice full body mindfulness movement, we're going to be tuning into those affirmations and those sounds. And I put the Tibetan sound bowl frequency list so we can tune in more into those frequencies. There's a mix of different frequencies. There's love frequencies. They're helping to dissolve fear, helping to dissolve guilt or any guilt to try to self-love and stuff. Don't carry those feelings, okay? So there's many different frequencies that we're going to be listening to throughout the session, but we will be bringing in through the sound bowl, okay? So you guys get that extra recharge, okay? Like a chimichanga, okay? Frequency also helps, again, it helps to reduce stress, it helps to increase feelings of peace and love, improves mental clarity, and provides healing to repair your body after movement, okay? Here are some mantras, okay? We're going to repeat the mantras that we've been working with this whole week, okay? We're just getting into it Either you pick one from here, either you guys have a specific one that you guys like to continue using and stuff, whatever the affirmation is. But we're always going to keep on going over the affirmations, because the more we hear them, the more we can repeat them, and the more we end up intentionally feeling them, right? So we want to make sure that we're feeling them. All right, so these are affirmations to help boost that love, self-love energy in your body, mind, and soul. All right, Jimmy. So I deeply love and accept myself. I have the power to create change. I release all separation and judgment. Loving myself allows me to love others. I am confident in my ability to set healthy boundaries. I invite love and understanding into my life. I trust myself to make the right decisions for my career and aspirations. I am resilient and will learn from my mistakes I make. I give myself permission to heal. We do permission to feel, we do permission to heal, okay? I am healing. I am calm and in harmony with my body, okay? And as always, you guys can find more mantras and affirmations in the 369 journal book that's in my showcase in the list. And of course, we're going to jump into an excerpt that I found again while reading through the I would, but my damn mind won't let me, of course. All right, so we're going to go back. We're going to go back a little bit. This is what I like going back and skimming back through the books and finding stuff that I probably needed a secondary set of sit down in, right? Welcome, Cherry. Think back over the last few days or weeks and reflect on what commands. Remember, the commands is what we tell our subconscious to do. Think back of what commands you have been giving your subconscious mind that are causing some of your negative feelings and experiences, if you've had any. How can you change those commands to create more positivity in your life? And as we mentioned before, right, and then this week, the book expands more about it, right? So you give a clear command to hear so that your subconscious mind hears it, very clear, concise, and it'll help change the course of your feelings and your thoughts. Okay? So like what we were talking about last week, and I re-mentioned on Monday. You sit down, you're like, oh my goodness, so much is going on. So instead of thinking and looking at all the wrong that's going on, you need to tell your subconscious mind, whoa, right? So you need to give it something that it's very clear and concise, and you're very straightforward with it. So one things that she mentions in the book is, I choose to be calm. Remember, your subconscious mind does not understand the difference between putting a negative word or not in front, right? So you have to make sure that you take away from those negative words and put yourself into a direct command that drives you away from that negativity, right? Hello, Jerry. And you want to make sure. So like, let's say again, so you're like all over, oh my goodness. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, no, I choose to be calm. Right there, your brain has no other choice but to be like, whoa. Even if you feel so overwhelmed, it will cause a friction, a catalyst in your brain to be like, whoa. And I'm telling you, like I've done this before. I wouldn't use that specific phrase, but I've done that method before. So I love the fact that she mentions that method with a different phrase that now I can add on to my vernacular vocabulary when I'm trying to give myself those self help. And now you guys could too, Jimmy's, right? So, I would usually say either I refuse to be in this matter, right? So like it would be like something like that. I refuse to be in this matter. No. There was a sensational disturbance in my force field, and I refuse to be in this matter, right? that sometimes is like a little bit too rough, right? Like too long, right? So I love the fact that it was brought down into, I choose to be calm. And spicy brain is like, oh my goodness, why didn't you think of that? Like, so, because sometimes we, for me at least, in my spicy brain is, I get ahead of myself in some things, right? And I end up wanting to even over-explain myself in certain affirmations and certain self-help things. But I also have to remember, it doesn't have to be that long. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It could be as little as 4 to 5 words. I choose to be calm, So, and it does work. I love it. It's already a method that I'm using, but it's more words that are added that I can use, and I'm going to continue looking for other phrases that can help me, where it can kind of attribute to scenarios. And of course, I'm going to be sharing it with you guys, of course. Right? So that's something that you guys can think of. Of course, that is something that you guys can think of while we're doing the stretch and the mindfulness. So, you kind of attribute and resonate with them. Like, you know what? It's time for me to release. I choose to be calm. And this is the start of what you can put your mindset. Thank you. To put your mindset in that perspective. Remember what I said, right? Perspective, perception, when you're in emotional state, mental state, what she mentions as well, it filters the data, however you are feeling in that emotional state. So you want to make sure that you are in calmness to receive your blessings, to receive your data, right? To give the subconscious a command, a clear and concise command. So you're not feeling like, if it's like, wow, this is too much. No, it's not. We just sometimes overdo it with things. Overdo it with so many things. And sometimes it's just back to basics. And that's all it needs. Just simplicity. Right? So, and of course, if you want to find more of these, you guys can find, I would, but my damn mind won't let me, by Jackie Letron in my showcase. Of course, help a self-help book to help you guys reduce stress, anxiety, and other things, and anxiety and emotions and stressors in your life, and give you skills along with what we do here. I already do some stuff which she mentioned in the book, which is wonderful, because it's just refreshing and reinforcing what we've already been doing for the last few years here on live, and what we've been continuously growing and going and going in. Okay, chimmies? All right, remember, guys, you want to take your mindful breaks. You want to hydrate, listen to your body's signals. Okay, that's a very important one. And if you get stuck in a pose or in a position, don't worry, I'll most likely modify it if I have a modification pose for it. And if you don't know a pose, just sit either in lotus mode. If it's an easier pose, breathe through it. Maybe you need an extra breath, maybe that is something. Or just try your best. Give yourself that self-confidence, that self-empowerment, and self-encouragement and engagement as well, to tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to try. Even if it's just a soft version of what she's showing on the screen, I'm going to try. And chimmies, remember, pace, grace, and pace, okay? Space, grace, and pace when we're doing this. Go into and back to self, okay? Vibe responsibly and have fun through this movement. Remember what we already said. Think back in something that you may have thought about, and what could you have done differently? Where can you have put the I choose to be calm prompt for self? Where could you have put that? Okay, we're going to use that. And where could you have been kinder and more loving to self in those areas, using that phrase, right? That statement. All right, chimmies. All right, guys. I also have one thing that I wanted to read to you, that I thought it was something that was interesting, because if you guys know Benito, right? Hello, Chewy. Bad Bunny, he's been talking about a lot of his historical stuff. A lot of the historical stuff, you guys have been paying attention with that. And in one of his songs, he talks about, you gotta live your life, because your life is just one big party, just waiting to end, right? So you have to just enjoy like that, right? So I love that phrase that he uses that in his song. And I thought that it was so not coincidental Not ironic, but just another message from the universe letting me know that I'm on the right track. And I love to share these with you, these bubbles with you, because I want to form inspiration within you guys, okay? So 2 days ago, yesterday, as a matter of fact, me and hubby were listening to Bad Bunny while we were out and about and stuff. That's usually what we listen to, or we'll listen to different playlists and stuff. But yesterday was Benito on the list, right? And one of the songs that came on was the one that he references, Life is a Big Party. And I love it because also Celia Cruz references that, and so does Mark Anthony in one of his songs as well, right? So, and they do it in different ways. So I love it. I love it. It's just, yes. And sometimes things happen at a party, right? But like, oh. But then what we do, we continue, right? So, some people live almost their entire lives in this state. Basically in the state of life is one big party. They're taking it as they flow. And they're just being in the present. These are the people who are able to take and make any technique work perfectly the first time. There are those who live whose lives are just like one long party of good fortune and wonderment. And I thought that was very important to share with you guys because, again, referencing yesterday, one of the songs playing references that same, and it just stuck out to me when I was reading today, and I was like, I definitely have to, like, this is something that I want to share with them because you understand that when you go into a flow state, that's just what it is. It's a flow state. It's like the water that's running behind the song, the frequency, the chime in this song, right? So it's just like that water. It's just continuous. It's flow. It's a flow state. So you have to bring yourself, your energies into that flow state. It's like if you and you are just meeting, right? But you have to be in that state of mind in order to come together, right? Come to one, come as one. And how do we do that, right? Well, again, we need to regulate our bodies. We need to make sure that we are not stressing. We need to make sure that we are not in an anxious or stagnant or tense or, fight or flight mode all the time. We are learning how to release those things so that we can get into that flow state and live in that long party of wonderment and abundance. Okay? Wonderful reminder of why it's important to be in flow state. Whether it's dancing, whether it's singing, whether it's whatever it is, guys, flow state. Getting back to flow state is just letting your subconscious mind know a command. Say it because you mean it. I choose to be calm. Ring it in 7 times. Breathe it in, breathe it out. 528. Bringing it in. I choose to be calm. I want you guys, every time that the gong happens, the bowl rings, I choose to be calm. I choose to be calm. It's a choice. You're telling your subconscious mind, this is what you want. I choose to be calm. choose to be calm. All right. Now we are coming in to relaxation mode. Alexa, max volume. We're going to switch over to the gratitude position. Go into, remember we are in flow state, chilies. And we're going to bring it in with breathing flies. Bring it up. And bring it down. Bring it up. And bring it down, cherries. Remember, every time that you extend to the back, bring it a little bit further. Opening that chest, that heart chakra. One last time, bring it up. Yes, cherries. Ooh, little nice snap, crackle, pop right here. Ooh, and another one. Yes. I know y'all heard those. It feels so good. And we're gonna take our hands and interlock them to the back, okay? So take your hands and bring them and extend them and hold. And then push out that chest. Ooh. And then bring it back in slowly. Yeah. And slowly get back into it. Hold it there, chimneys, 10 seconds. Yes. Bringing it into lotus mode. Remember, flow state, flowing into it. Breathing in and out, chimneys, again. And bring it in. Feel those shoulders feeling nice and relaxed. Those arms are nice and loose. Allow the frequency to help regenerate your body. choose to be calm, resetting our bodies so that we may take on the rest of the week nice, strong, and with clear and focused minds. I choose to be calm. I choose to be calm. I choose to be calm. Spine twist to the left, right arm joining the knee, and make sure you twist and place that other hand behind you. Twist that body out. Bring it in slowly. Flow, Jimmy's. Remember, flow. Flow through it. And twist. Feel that tension just sliding down your spine. Ground it. Imagine and just visualize it coming down and out of your tailbone, out into the root, out from the root chakra, and ground that good energy. And just shift and transmute that tension out the tailbone. And then bring it around. Flow through. Flow through. We're going to go into a butterfly pose. Remember, we gently allow gravity to place our knees. Gently hold it there, Jimmy's. Just sit with it. Shoulders are relaxed. In flow state. Feeling nice and calm. I choose to be calm. I give myself permission to heal. I am healing. I choose to be calm. And we're gonna lean forward gently. gonna bring it over to the left and just flow through it. Bring it back up, keeping it low, just twisting back to the middle. Bring it forward with the arms now. Hold it there with that stretch, jimmies. And then bring it over to the right side. And flow. And then bring it around, still very low. Alright, hold it forward still. Holding it there, jimmies. Remember, taking it very slow and leaving space for any wiggle room if you need to get up and just do it a little bit. But just bring it up and then slowly crawl and walk yourself back. And notice how your legs, your knees are now closer to the mat, jimmies. Hold it there. Yes. And we're gonna bring those legs up, slowly flap them, And we are going into a gratitude pose again. Sit back onto that pose. And we're gonna open up our arms. Hold it there, flow, stay. We're gonna flow with our arms and just give self a hug. Give yourself a hug as tightly around as you can. Remember, we're still stretching our arms, okay, and our bodies. But we're still flowing with it, right? We're giving it intention. We're hugging ourselves. We're giving ourselves love. Grip yourself like if you know you're good. I'm here chilling. And then release. Flow with it. We're going to switch the arms. So whichever arm was on the bottom, you're going to put it at the top now, okay? Hold it there to the sides. And then bring it around again and hug. Flow. Hold yourself. Give yourself that love, jimmies. And then flow away with it. Flow away with it. Yes, flow away with it. We're going to switch self to a child's pose. So get into it. We're going to do a hanging head pose. If you need to adjust, remember, jimmies, just adjust it. Just lift up a little bit. Lift up the arms a little bit and then adjust yourself, okay? And then bring it back down. And then bring your hands back. And then slowly flow into the hanging head. Hold it there, Jimmies. Yes. Let it just roll off your shoulders. Let it go. Let it go. And coming back down. And then just release from the shoulders and hands in 3. For you to just lift yourself up. Okay. And we're going back into lotus pose. Flow into it, Chimmies. We are almost done. I love this one to help us reset, you know. We're gonna do neck tilts. I like this one, okay? Bring that head to the side and then tilt it down. Remember, shoulders are relaxed, okay? You don't want to end up having your shoulders tensed. Then it won't help the stretch that you're giving your neck, okay? Roll that head to the side with the hand and then bring it down with that other hand and that shoulder. What a lovely release. And then bring self and release. We're going to repeat the same step to the other side. Remember, we're bringing that head to the side, twisting the neck, and then bring it down, okay? And making sure that we are holding with the head, tilting down, and not hurting self. And then from there, we're going to take the head and twist to the side. Hold and bring that other hand in. And hold it, Jimmies. You're going to feel that nice, beautiful, sweet release from that neck area, that shoulder area. And then slide and flow with it and just release gently, release gently, release gently. Hello, Jimmies, hello. And bring those hands down slowly. We're gonna hold with our hands to the side. We're gonna start with some tummy circles. You're gonna feel that release coming from the back of that area of your spine, your lower lumbar, your tailbone. Slowly bring it around. And then bring it the other way, guys. Breathe through it. Remember, using your hands to help push. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring those hands Slowly up. And then twist. Tummy circles. Ooh. And you guys know what to do. Bounce it back for 2 times. Breathe through it, Jimmy's. Yes. And release. Yes. Feeling nice. Tension is just, your body's feeling warm, but it's feeling a relaxed warmth. Okay. Palms together. Now this time I want you guys to place your palms together and then separate them just slightly. Make them meet. Okay, feel it, and then separate them just slightly. Put it right where your heart chakra is at. Okay, and I want you to start feeling the 528. Receive it. Okay, remember, I am calm. I choose to be calm. Let's do a different one. I choose peace. That's a good one. I flow. I give permission to heal. I am healing. I am calm. Keeping those hands together. Closely with one. Hold it there, cherries. Breathe through it. And I'm going to count you guys down from 5 so that you guys can slowly start becoming one with self again. You might feel a little bit of your body and your mind or energy detached, but that's not a bad thing, Jimmy's. That's just you being in the moment, kind of seeing yourself from a reflective mode and seeing from outside in, but also being aware of that. We're gonna count backwards from 5, and taking that nice deep breath. 4, becoming aware. 3, wiggle those fingers and those toes to give your body that awareness of circulation, and then you're coming in. 2, take another deep breath. 1. Open your eyes and release your hands to the sides. Take 2 deep breaths, shimmies. Inhale from the nose. Exhale from the mouth. I want you to take a moment to see how you feel now versus how you felt in the beginning of the session, and how your body's responding to now versus how it was responding to everything and anything before the session. And take those extra breaths, take that extra water, take that extra time to come in within from that mindfulness and that calm state. And we're going to stay in the calm state. We're going to give ourselves more awareness and just stay in that flow of mind, okay? Of course, we have Wellness Wednesday homework and practice, Jimmys. Tonight, and as every other time, I want you to drink your water, but make sure that you're intentionally drinking it before you get thirsty or before you start a routine, okay? Hydration equals better movement, better flow, clearer mind, smoother vibes, okay? Step outside for 2 minutes, whether it's tonight before you go and rest your head, outside, look out the window. In the morning time when you wake up, you do that as well. And get a little bit of fresh air into your system, especially at the nighttime. Look up at the sky if it's clear. Get in that fresh air if it's a nice, cool, crisp night. Get that nice, cool air into your system, into your lungs, okay? Do a 5-minute stretch before your bedtime, at your rising, to help the system release and also restart and reset, okay? So restart and reset. And also to release the body from tension, okay? Any types of feelings of feeling stuck or flat, or like if things are not making any sense. And of course, journal how you are feeling after you do these activities, after you do this activity. Okay, again, go back into the prompt that we did earlier. If you guys want to take a note and write about that, go back and do that, right? Get a little bit of reflectiveness in it. And also leave a gratitude prompt or something nice that you want to tell yourself. It's gonna make your mind and your body feel good about it, okay? Here's also something that you can use as a self-reflect. This is the self-reflective prompt for number 3 for this night. You can use it as the start of your prompt after you do the activities, or attach it to the prompt that we had done earlier. Okay, this is just going continuously from last night's prompt. So last night's prompt was, if you remember that time, how did you feel? And would there be anything that you would have changed from that situation that would have put you in a calm state, right? I've been doing my writing, Jimmy's. It's been, so this tonight's prompt, okay, which I am going to be writing or by tomorrow, but the homework is, think back now to a positive experience in your life. Consider how your environmental state and mindset might have contributed positively. What commands did you give your subconscious mind based on your thoughts, feelings, actions, and body language? And remember, Chimmies, take your time answering these questions. These are self-reflective questions. They are supposed to be for you to take your time, really sit there and understand self. These are tools to help you understand self and help to release those stressors and those things that trigger anxiety and feelings of, depression that might go into more further negative feelings and emotions and a state of mind and cause chaos in your environment, okay? And of course, remember to take your mindfulness throughout the times, whether if you want to do another movement, before you go to bed, you need some extra movement. But usually this would be okay. Like, this would actually do you justice, especially how deep of the stretches that we were doing and how mindful we were when we were doing our intentions through it. Okay. Thank you, Chimmies, for being here, of course. I hope that this session, as always, has brought you guys all sorts of comfort, all sorts of peace, and all sorts of happiness that'll be beneficial to your vibes and your wellness overall, of course. Don't forget that you can catch these lives on replays on the 2 links that are attached over here, and of course across my platforms. You guys can catch it on the 2 links that are attached, and make sure that you end up vibing, with it, wherever, whenever you feel like you need that sense, that little extra recharge for yourself. Okay. And of course, if today hit different, you know what to do. Leave some love within the comments, whether it's in the links that you guys go visit in these videos, wherever. Let me know if it hit different, as always, so that I know that it did, and it gave what it gave, and it do what it do for you, Chimmies. Remember to take your mindfulness, and of course, hydrate and listen to your body's signals. Okay, Chimmies? Listen to your body's needs, right? That's what helps us go, grow, and glow, give space, grace, and pace, so that we are able to continue our daily routines, our projects, whatever we are trying to accomplish, and our aspirations. Rest is important, mindfulness is important, and balance of it is important. Okay. Much love, Chimmies. Thank you so much for being here. And until the next vibe, peace, love, and harmonious vibrations and frequencies to you guys. Night night, Chimmies.